AirZone Quickfire Autofed Belt Blaster Review. Included is the blaster, the belt, a few darts, and the instructions. This is a battery-powered toy. To get to the battery tray, you take off the 2 screws here and the cover will release. And it requires 6 AA batteries. Bet you thought you were going to carry ammo in your mag. Nope, batteries! This blaster is a really big flywheel blaster that is fed with the belt here. Starting off with the funny thing that it has a magazine and a belt. I have never seen a firearm with only one barrel that has 2 different loading ports like this. I find this hilarious. But as demonstrated, the batteries go in here. It is flywheel, so it doesn't operate without those batteries. I will go over the externals, show you how it works, show you the firing, and then give you my opinion. Starting with the front, nothing super fancy. Most of the grooves and everything are sort of cosmetic. They don't really do much. But the front grip is a nice place to put your hand while the belt is rotating. Moving back, this is where the latch is to remove the belt. You hit that little button there, and then the thing opens up like that, allowing you to take the belt off and then reload it, or you can load it while it's in there. No big deal. Putting it back on is the opposite. Down here is the faux magazine. It doesn't do anything. There's no magazine release. You can't really get that out. The batteries are held in there, so if you had that detachable, you'd just disconnect your power source on accident, which would be kind of funny. But of course, that's not an option. On the other side here, you have an on-off button. This does not have a rev trigger like most flywheel blasters. It's a permanent on or permanent off, so when you turn it on, you go into firing mode, and then if you want it to shut up, you have to just go up there and turn it off again. Down below is the trigger. This is an electronic trigger, so it does have a decent pull. There is quite a bit of delay between when you pull that trigger and when you actually start shooting, and that's just the nature of an off-brand AirZone type of piece of crap gun. Might be a little harsh, but you know what I mean. When you pick up an AirZone gun, you know the plastic's lower quality. Everything's a little bit lower quality than Nerf. Everybody knows it. Getting to the grip, I think it's a very cosmetically cool looking grip. It looks sort of like a saw gunner's grip. Getting back to the stock, it does have sort of an M4 style stock. When you push up on this, you can pull back on the stock. It is pretty stable, but with a flywheel gun, you don't actually have to prime it back like on a Springer, so it's good enough for sure. And the stock is also removable, so if you hit this yellow thing down here, you can actually push it in and pull the stock off. Although in my opinion, that just looks really funny, so I would leave the stock on. This is not a Nerf compatible part. You can't put Nerf stocks onto this, and you can't put this onto Nerf guns without like a bunch of glue. I mean, they're not compatible. And to put that back on, it just slides in and you're good to go. So to operate the blaster, you remove the belt like I just showed you, or you can just load while it's on, and then you turn it on with this button, and then you pull the trigger and you fire, and that's all you have to do. So I'm going to shoot the gun on a slight angle downward. That, coupled with the vibration of the feeding neck, I'll demonstrate why the darts are sliding out. This fit is just simply too light. If you lean it forward and do that, the darts will come out. Then when the chain comes up to feed it, it'll jam. So hopefully I can jam it and show you what I'm talking about. A lot faster than I was expecting, so the first one. And then you get a jam like that, which is just annoying. As you can see, the performance is sort of mixed. The velocity is acceptable, but the rate of fire is very, very slow. In addition to that, it jams a ton. The jamming is purely because of the dart fit to the belt. This belt doesn't have to have a great air fit because it's not like a Springer. It doesn't really require friction because a pusher rod just pushes that into the flywheels. So they made it really loose to reduce friction. However, when you're moving around, the darts will slide out of the belt, and then when the belt comes up into the chamber here, it jams it, and it's kind of irritating. The reason I would use this blaster is so you can just run and gun and you're moving around shooting a bunch of people, but if you move too fast, the vibration of the feeding neck will jam it because the darts get dislodged. So the jamming thing really ruins it for me. I personally can't recommend it on that alone. Something that will constantly jam is not a viable blaster to use. I feel like it's a waste of money, especially given its price point. In addition to that, I think it's really funny that they have a belt and a magazine. If you know how firearms work, you only have one loading port, unless this is a double barrel where this is a magazine and then on top of that is an independent barrel system firing from the belt. If you're a cosplayer or you want a costume gun, the shell is really cool looking. It has all these cool grooves and whatnot. It looks sort of like a firearm. Obviously the colors are completely off, but if you wanted to get the shell and paint it, this is a good candidate. It is more expensive than other prop alternatives, but it does have cool lines for that. That is my review and opinion. Thanks for watching.